Hey guys, before we get started with this video, I just wanted to put a trigger warning out there that this video contains violent content that some may find disturbing, so please approach with caution or respectfully exit out. And also disclaimer guys, no disrespect to the families that were affected by these murders. This video is just being put out for the purpose of education. For years, there has always been a constant debate on the internet about whether or not violence, such as murders, school shootings, grand heists, is linked to video games. And if you were to ask me what I thought on this topic, I would say bullshit. I mean, I play Minecraft, but you don't see me out here killing other people now, do you?
Oh my god, there's a zombie. There's a zombie.
It's a zombie? It's an actual zombie? Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay! Ah, just hit it! Just hit it! Just hit it! Just hit it!
I lost my equipment?
We can go back to it. We can go back to it.
But hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another G-Mineo video. I'm your host Mark, and today we are going to be talking about something a little bit more serious. We're going to be talking about 5 events in history that were so vile, so horrific, so disgusting, which some individuals claim were linked to video games. Before we get started with the video guys, you guys already know what to do. Make sure you guys go like and subscribe, and also let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think video games are linked to violence, or is it just some excuse to explain people's action? Let me know down below. So let's go ahead and get started with number 1, Columbine. So for the ones that don't know, Columbine High School shooting was a massacre that occurred in April 20th, 1999 at Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado. It left 15 individuals dead, including the 2 students that were responsible for the attack, and it's probably one of the deadliest school shooting incidents in American history. Honestly guys, this happened back in 1999, so I was only 2 years old at the time, but I remember that this event would still be talked about years after it actually happened. That's how serious this was. And in fact guys, if there was a school shooting that were to happen right now, the news outlets would probably reference Columbine High School again, even to this day. But anyways, the shooting was carried out by 2 individuals, and one was Eric Harris, who was 18 at the time, and Dylan Klebold, who was 17 at the time. They both entered Columbine High School in Jefferson County with semi-automatic pistols, rifles, and several explosives. And in less than 20 minutes guys, they killed 12 fellow students and a teacher and wounded many others. And the violence came to an end when Harris and Klebold took their own lives. And reporters actually dove into this in the background of these 2 individuals, and they found out that these 2 had actually been banned from playing video games because it was leading them to exhibit violent and irrational behavior. And honestly, from the outside guys, these 2 individuals actually seemed like they were emotionally stable. They had good grades, they were doing good in school, so the parents didn't really pay enough interest into like their behavior when it came to these video games. Harris, who was the mastermind of the entire attack, has been said to have been addicted to the game Doom, which is a science fiction / horror first-person shooter video game. And those who play Doom over the internet with Harris say that he created a game level based on Columbine High School's floor plan. So this was clearly a huge red flag, but obviously the people that were playing with him kind of just brushed it off, and his designs in the game was nearly an exact replica, minus a few wings from the skull because the game didn't hold enough data. Creepy, right guys? And on top of that, he would play in God mode, which took away from the skill and competition that Doom usually encourages. Instead, God mode actually created a dry run for the massacre that the 2 would eventually carry out in real life. And it was actually reported that in one journal entry, Harris wrote, "I feel like God and I wish I was having everyone being officially lower than me." Alright, so now moving on to the next one. So this one actually also happened in Colorado, and it's the Aurora movie theater shooting. So this event happened on July 20th, 2012, where a mass shooting occurred inside a Century 16 movie theater in Aurora, Colorado during a midnight screening of the film Dark Knight Rises. James Egan Holmes on that night, dressed in tactical clothing, set off tear gas grenades and shot into the audience with multiple firearms. 12 people were later killed and 70 others were injured, 58 of them from gunfire. And this incident, it was actually the deadliest shooting in Colorado since Columbine High School massacre. And at the time of this event, they actually had the largest number of victims in one shooting in modern US history. So Holmes was later arrested minutes later in his car outside a cinema. So obviously a really tragic event in history. Like, imagine being in that theater and just hearing gunfires. I feel really sorry for those who lost family members that night. I believe 2 of those many victims were actually a father and a daughter. Like, Imagine being the mom and getting the news that your husband and your daughter both died the same night and at the hands of someone else. And it just like absolutely baffles me and confuses me at exactly what was going in this guy's head. Like, what made him want to shoot a bunch of innocent people? Like, what were his motives for doing this? And it was actually later reported that James Holmes was obsessed with video games. In fact, along with the collection of evidence that police officers took, which included collections of guns, more than 1,700 rounds of ammunition, and medication, police officers also took in numerous video games such as Skyrim, StarCraft, and Oblivion. Detectives would later find this as a possible motive of why James Holmes committed this crime. They believe that these video games somehow kind of altered with his mind, kind of motivated him to do what he did because of the possible violence that these games kind of exude. Okay, so now moving on to number 3, we have Newton, Connecticut Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. And this incident happened on December 14, 2012 in Newton, Connecticut, United States, when a 20-year-old Adam Lanza shot and killed 26 people, including 20 children between 6 and 7 years old and 6 adult staff members. And guys, before driving to that school earlier that day, he actually shot and killed his mother. And it was later reported that authorities reportedly stumbled across thousands and thousands of dollars worth of video game in Lanza's home. Lanza's video game obsession apparently prompted him to try to score a high body count inside that movie theater. So just some of Lanza's favorite games included Call of Duty, which is an intense shooting game set in World War II, as well as Call of Duty Black Ops 2, which is a violent game that has been associated by the media with violence in minors. Okay, so now moving on to number 4, we have Daniel Patrick, who also killed his mother. So Daniel Patrick was born on August 24th, 1991, and he was convicted of murder from Wellington, Ohio at only age 16. Patrick actually shot both of his parents when his father confiscated his copy of the video game Halo 3. And in that shooting, his mother was unfortunately killed while his father was badly injured but managed to make a full recovery. And it was reported the reason why the father actually took the game Halo 3 away from Daniel was because he would play the game up to 18 hours a day. Halo 3 was practically his life. And just some background about Daniel and his parents was that his father, Mark Patrick, was actually a minister at the New Life Assembly of God in Wellington. So obviously video games such as Halo 3 exude such violence that is against the religion. But anyways, according to prosecutors, Daniel's parents secured the game inside a lockbox in the same closet that the father kept a 9mm handgun. One night, Daniel found his father's keys and snuck into the closet to retrieve both the game and the gun. He then proceeded to walk into the living room where his parents were sitting and say to his folks, this was literally his words, "Would you close your eyes? I have a surprise for you." Creepy, right? Thinking the teen was about to apologize for his previous actions, the two of them followed his orders and were instantly shot in the head multiple times. His mother died and his father was severely wounded. He then said to his father, this was his exact word, "Hey dad, here's your gun. Take it." And he did this with the intention to make it look like a murder-suicide, which was executed by his father. Okay, so now moving on to number 5, we have Nehemiah Griego. So this case took place on January 19, 2013 in South Valley, New Mexico, which resulted in the deaths of 5 family members of the Griego family, the parents and 3 younger children. They were shot with 2 different weapons by their 15-year-old eldest son of the family, Nehemiah Griego. So the teenager actually began planning the murders 2 weeks before they were actually carried out when he became upset with his mother, and he actually had an alternative plan to shoot up a local Walmart and then contemplated killing his 12-year-old girlfriend's parents. When he was brought in for questioning by the police, he was cold, unemotional until asked about video games that he played, and this instantly lit up a fire in Nehemiah as he perked up when he was given the opportunity to talk about his love and passion for playing video games. So some of his favorite video games that he reported on playing was Modern Warfare and Grand Theft Auto. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare is a 2019 first-person shooter video game which is highly known to be extremely violent, and Grand Theft Auto, which is the other game that he played, is a series of action-adventure games, and the game focuses on an open world where players can complete missions to progress an overall story, and the gameplay revolves around driving and shooting with occasional role-playing and stealth elements. So this game, along with Call of Duty, is also known to be a highly violent game, but come on, violent enough to push you to kill your parents? I think think not. But anyways, when brought into questionings, Griego had absolutely no problem giving the authorities a step-by-step account of the event that occurred. It was almost as if he was like proud of this. According to his statements, he murdered his mother in her sleep at 1 a.m. in the morning, and then he texted a picture of his dead mother to his girlfriend. Like, what? So clearly he had some kind of pleasure in doing this. After the first murder, Griego killed his brother and two sisters aged 9, 2, and 5. When his father entered his home at 6 a.m. after working the graveyard shift, Griego murdered him as well. And get this, guys, he then proceeded to meet with his girlfriend at 8 a.m. and attend the church at which his father had once been a pastor, and told everyone there that his family was dead. So obviously a really unfortunate event to the family at the hands of their son, and Griego would later then get the life sentence from a judge. And now I guess all I have to say to him is try playing Modern Warfare and Grand Theft Auto in jail. Like, good luck with that, kid. But yeah, guys, that is gonna wrap it up for today's video. If you guys like this video and you guys want to see more videos like this, then make sure you guys comment down below what videos you guys want to see from me next. And as always, guys, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think about this whole situation and this whole debate about video games causing violence, causing murders? I want to know, so leave all your comments down below. And also, guys, if you guys are not subscribed yet to the G-Mineo family, make sure you guys go hit that subscribe button down below. But with all of that being said, guys, again, I'm your host Mark, and remember, game it till you make it. Bye, guys!